If you're creating any kind of video for YouTube and you're spending most of your time in the editing phase, then this video is for you. As Riverside have upgraded their suite of editing tools to make it that much faster, that much more professional for creators like you and me to edit video for YouTube. So in this video, I'm just going to showcase some of the new editing tools Riverside have published recently, and it saves me so much time and it makes my videos look that much more professional. And I'm just going to dive straight on over into my Riverside studio and show you how I edit my YouTube videos. So to navigate to Riverside, you can either just Google Riverside or you can go to riverside.fm, and then it's going to ask you to either log in or create an account if you haven't started one already. Now, one of the good things about Riverside is they do offer a free plan, so you can just click on a free plan and get started. But as I already have an account, I'm just going to log in, and I pretty much log in using Google with most accesses these days. So I'm just going to click on Google, open into my account. Now, I'm going to walk you through this previous interview that I've done with Chris Beltran, who's a branding expert. And as soon as you click on the studio that you're looking at, it gives you the projects and if you've got anything scheduled. Now I've got two projects here. I've got the full interview that I did with Chris Beltran, and then I've also got like an intro and outro that I recorded separately that I then added to this recording. So all you need to do is go, if you have a recording, go into that project, and then you've got a number of options from here. First of all, you can download any recording files you like. You can either download all of the participants, just the Chris track or just my track, or you can actually copy any of the transcript if you wanted to build that out into any descriptors or any email copy as well. They also give you some social snapshots here if you wanted to use anything like this for thumbnails or any social posts, but for anything like a YouTube thumbnail, I would do that separately. So let's go back to the interview then. And then what you can do from here is you can render out different types of media. So what I love about Riverside is that it records locally on everyone's device. So as I recorded this interview, Riverside was recording on Chris's desktop and it was recording on my desktop to get the best possible sound and the best possible video. Once it's then finished, it would upload to the cloud, and then you can render out any of these different types of media that you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into a draft edit here, and I'm just going to show you what the edit's like. So this is an example of the full raw recording. I haven't done any editing to this. This is what it would look like. It would show you all of the tracks here. You can actually click on the different tracks to identify Chris and then identify me, and then you can go in and edit anything you like here. Now, so in the top you have the render out, so you can actually do it by 16 by 9. You can do 1:1 as a square. You can buy 9 by 16 if it's for any social posts, or you can just render out the audio. So I tend to do it for 16 by 9. And then as I go down here, you've got all of the details down here. I look at the layout first, and then I just usually go full screen. Once you go full screen, it will allow you to go on the speaker view. So Riverside use a lot of AI in the edit, and this will just use the AI camera. So when I'm speaking, it will just be me. And then when Chris is speaking, it will just scroll over to him. So that's a great function for Riverside and using and leaning into the AI functionality. So I'm just going to click back out of this, and I'm going to show you how I've edited out this whole video for my last YouTube video. So I identified the title, what is personal branding and why is it so important? So I'm going to go back into this edit, and I've rendered this out in a full video version. So as you can see here, I've recorded an intro and an outro separate to this video, and then I've just imported them here. So at any stage, if you go to the little plus icon at the start or at the end of the video, or even if you hover in between any edits, you can click on the plus, and then you can add in any recordings, any edits that you've previously done, any videos that you want to upload, any music, AI voice, or you can just add an empty section in here, or you can just do another recording. So what I did here is I added in this intro. So I added in an intro overviewing what this video is going to be about, who I'm about to interview. And then also I added in an outro here, as you can see, an outro, and then some of my branding and my call to action. So let's start off with the first intro. So all I did here was I put my name coming up as in graphics, and all you can do here is click on the text, and then you can add in any titles, subtitles, bodies, speaker, anything like that. So the text will come onto the screen. Then anything you want to edit, just click on, and then you can actually move that around or make it any larger or smaller or anything like that. Anything you want to edit, just click on. So here, if I wanted to cut off anything that I've said or actually add anything in, I'll get to that in a little bit later. You can either edit just using or highlighting the copy, or you can just delete the copy. And what Riverside will do is it will delete you saying these words, and it will be a seamless edit. So no longer do you have to actually find the piece that you're saying in the actual video. You can just go straight to the copy and then edit the copy, and it will just reflect in the video that you render out. So like I've previously alluded to, if you wanted to edit any of the tracks individually, you can click on this collapse track, expand track tab here, and then you can just go into this is my track, and if you click on the one below, this is Chris's track, and here what I've done is I've actually added in some audio, so a little bit of background music into the intro and to the outro. Let's go to the last bit of the outro. So again, I just added some more text here as a call to action. Again, you can click on any of these and then edit them. And then I added my personal branding. I just uploaded an image and then added that in there. So let's go to the top right, AI producer. What I love about Riverside is they do lean into using AI to help you with the edit. So this is going to save you so much time. So this function just allows you to edit out any of those dead spots, any of those pauses. So you could leave it as the original if you didn't want to edit out any pauses. But if you just wanted to go 3 seconds or more, I've still got no pauses to remove. But if you wanted to edit out to make the video run a little bit quicker, there's 8 pauses here, which actually takes out 16 seconds. And if you were to go to fast, this is 33 pauses that it could take out, or even super fast, this will take out 244 pauses. So just be mindful of the fact that if you want it for Reels, Shorts, or TikToks, a faster form video would actually work better. If you wanted it for YouTube or Spotify, you maybe delete some pauses, but I tend to go through, if I wanted to actually speed it up a little bit, I would delete some of them, but typically I use it on original. So that's the pace of the video. Then smooth speech, you can apply smooth speech, and this will remove any filler words. So any ums and ahs, you can actually delete any of those and make it a lot smoother, or you could just revert back to this. Magic mute is basically any non-talking participants are muted. So if there's any background noises in any of your interviewees, then you can actually get rid of that. And then magic audio enhances all 3 tracks. Now this will take a little bit of time. Turn this on and have a listen to what this sounds like. If you like it, keep it on. If you don't, just go back to the original. So the next one here is brand. You can apply your brand logo, color palette, any of your text styles, designs, and then you can apply this to all of your videos that you render out, which is a great little function. The layout, I tend to use the full screen if I'm doing the longer form interviews. As I've said previously, you can either render out any 1:1, or you can render out a 9:16 for any shorts. I tend to do this, if I was to do a short form, I would go for a grid. So I would go for myself on top and the interviewee on the bottom. But that is if I was rendering anything out for short form video. But long form video, I would just go full screen. It all depends on what effect you're trying to have. You could go as a grid interview style, but if you go full screen, the AI will detect who's speaking. Music, you can upload any of your own music or identify some music that you can have in the background. So I've just uploaded some music here for the intro and a little bit for the outro. Captions, these are great if you wanted to put anything on socials. And this, again, try and find the colors and the styles of your brand. So if I was to add anything into here, you can actually edit the color and highlighting the font that would go best with your brand. If you don't want any of that, you can just remove captions. Then any uploads, I have an image that I've uploaded for my end screen, but anything in terms of like more videos or more audios, you can do that here. If you wanted to record anything extra, you could just hit record and record a new segment. If there's any images that you wanted to add into this video, you could just either highlight them here or upload your own. And the text, this is if you wanted to put any sort of titles in here or subtitles. When you're in the editing phase, you can either click on the expand or collapse track so you can see which tracks you're going to be working on. And I think there was I've only edited this interview at one spot. There was an issue with Chris's camera, it stopped working. So I then repeated the question and then just edited it here. So I just chopped that bit out. If you wanted to see any more fidelity in the edit, you can zoom into the time bar and then zoom out as you're editing. And again, you can hide the timeline or show the timeline depending on how much fidelity you need. And then again, you can collapse tracks or expand tracks. And as you can see here, Riverside have actually used AI to give yourself some chapters here. So introduction to online branding. If you liked any of these, it will render out with those chapters in there. But what I do like about Riverside is, like I said, it is leaning into AI. You can add sections into any element here in between your copy. You can add a section, you can add in more recordings, edits, music. You can also include an AI voice. So as Riverside has listened to your voice along the way, if there's a section that you finished the recording, but you just wanted to add in an intro, this is quite spooky. You can just add in AI voice. Then it's going to get you to write out in copy what you want to say. And again, it's going to, this is a beta version, it's going to create that copy in your own voice. So if there's an intro or an outro that you forgot to say and mention, you can upload that and add in some AI voice. It's quite spooky. So like I said here, you can add anything into the copy. You can add anything into the sections in the actual timeline itself. So it's up to you whether you prefer to edit the copy or edit the video. So it's got good flexibility in that respect. And then whenever you want to render out this footage, so if you're happy with all of the edits, you can click export. You've got a few options here. You can either render out the video, the audio, or just the timeline. I tend to render out the video. The video quality I go for as high as possible because it's recorded locally. You can render out a 4K video. I tend to remove any watermarks, normalize audio levels, and remove any background noises. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click export video, and then I'm going to show you how that represents in the finished article. Okay, so whilst we're waiting for that to render out, that might take a few minutes to render out. I'll show you that. It will email you the link to actually download that video. Whilst I've come back into the project, you can have another AI function. You can generate magic clips, or you can generate a full episode. So if you have done like an hour-long interview, you can click generate, and Riverside will use AI to try and render out a good edited full episode for you. But make sure you're happy with it before you hit publish, because AI, whether it's done an amazing job or not, you have to be happy with what you've rendered out. Magic clips are pretty good. I tend to use this magic clips for social. So it's actually exported out a magic clip for me here. And then I've used this for socials, just pointing back to my YouTube video. This is under 1 minute. You can set the parameters for whatever you want this to record out. And then you can either just download it or share it or copy the link to share with your interviewee. So now I'm just going to go back to the projects and wait for the full video version to render out in full. Okay, so here we are. This is the full rendered out video version for you to actually download. Click the link, share, anything like that. I typically download these to my desktop, have a look through them, and if I'm happy with these, I will then just upload it to YouTube. But what I especially like is you can actually have a look at some of the keywords. It will use AI to give yourself a full summary of this interview, some main takeaway points if you wanted to use these in any email copy, some title examples. Again, I would probably do my own bit of research into what keyword you're going after. Hopefully you've done a bit of a strategy in terms of what keyword you're going after before you even hit record. Any sound bites you want, but this is a really clever thing here for chapters. So if you're using this for YouTube, you can just simply copy these chapter bites and then put them into your full uploaded version on YouTube. So there we have it. Hopefully you found value in this video and you've got some actionable steps if you were to go onto the Riverside platform today and edit your videos. Now, Riverside is just one of the tools, one of the online tools that I use to run my entire online business with. And I scrutinize every tool that I do use. I have a whole list of free and paid tools that I use to run this online business. And hey, you can get a free downloadable checklist if you head to timpeakman.com/tools, just to simply download the checklist today of all the tools I use, just to cross-reference, see which ones you could be using, which ones you are using, and which ones you may never have heard of. That link once more, timpeakman.com/tools. Download your checklist today and take action. And if you have any specific comments or points or suggestions about using the Riverside platform, I'd love to hear them. Just drop them in the comments below. And I do look forward to seeing you on the next video.